Next paragraph, diet.
Diet. Polar bears hunt the seals that live under the ice in the Arctic Ocean. Seals make holes in the ice and they come up to breathe. The polar bear waits patiently by the hole. When the seal comes up, the polar bear tries to seize it in its powerful jaws.
Okay, so for their diet is the food, their main food. What do they live on? Okay, so the polar bears hunt the seals. So their main diet, they fed on the seals. But the seals live under the ice in the Arctic Ocean. And previously, we said that the polar bears, they live on the sea ice. So how can they hunt the seals which live under the ice? Let's see. The seals come to make holes in the ice in order to breathe. Okay, so they want to breathe. So they come up to the ice and they started making holes on it. In order to what? To breathe. Come up here. You can see come and up. A verb with a preposition, we call it phrasal verb. The polar bear, and at that time, who is waiting for the seals? The polar bear waits patiently. He's not in a hurry at all. He's waiting patiently by the hole. When the seal comes up, what do the polar bear do? What do they do? They seize it by its powerful jaws, by its very strong jaws. Okay, so he pulled it and started eating it. Find out a synonym for the word very strong. Powerful. What is the polar bear's main diet? Seals. And when do polar bears hunt the seals? Do they die for them? No. When they come up to breathe. When the seals come up to breathe. Let's continue. Reproduction.
Reproduction. In the winter, female bears make dens under the deep snowdrifts. Here the cubs are born. The mother bear keeps them warm and fed for several months without ever leaving them. When they are bigger, they go outside. The mother bear teaches them to hunt on the ice floes.
Okay, so reproduction is about making new and young polar bears. Reproduction is the action or the process of making copies of something. So in the winter, female bears make dens under the deep snowdrifts. So they put their small dens where under the deep snowdrifts. And here it means where? Under the snowdrifts, the cubs are born. The cubs are the small or the newborn polar bears. The mother bear keeps them warm and fed for several months. So, at the beginning of their life, who takes care of them? Their mother. The mother bear. She starts feeding them, looking after them, keeping them warm. Okay, for several months of their life without leaving them for a time. When they are bigger, but when they grow up, they go outside and their mother starts to teach them how to hunt, how to get their food, how to survive. Okay? So the small polar bear is called, what do we call the small polar bear, the young polar bear? A cub. The underlined pronoun them here refers to whom? She keeps whom warm? The cubs. And who takes care of them when they are first born? The mother bear. Let's see the threats that they are facing, the dangers that they are suffering from.
Threats. Loss of sea ice because of climate change is the main threat to polar bears, but pollution from industry and oil spills also threaten them. In Russia, a new Arctic park has been created. Here, polar bears will live in safety, protected from harmful industrial activity.
Okay, so for the threats, we said, you remember, we said the first one at the introduction paragraph, the loss of sea ice. We said the climate is changing because in spring the ice starts to melt, and then in summer there is no ice. So the loss of sea ice because of climate change is the main threat to polar bears. It's the most important one. But there are also other threats. Pollution from industry and oil spills. So pollution from industry because of industry and oil spills. When the tankers are moving or they are carrying oil from a place to another, there are sometimes some spillings in the sea or in the ocean, so they are suffering from it. It also threatens them. But what did Russia do in order to protect them? They built a new Arctic park. A new Arctic park has been created. They created it in Russia, and here refers to whom? To the new Arctic park. Polar bears will live in safety, protected from harmful industrial activity. Of course, who's making these industrial activities? Humans, okay? So in the new Arctic park, they will stay away. They will be protected from the harmful activities of humans. So, what was the procedure taken by Russia to protect the polar bears? What did Russia do to protect them? The procedure. An Arctic park was built there, or they built or they created an Arctic park. Mention two threats are facing polar bears. Two. First one, climate change. The second one is pollution. Okay, if I ask you, what is the main threat? It is climate change or the loss of sea ice because of climate change. Let's move now